I'm Moses, aka Mosobot 64. I was born in a warehouse with a bunch of paintbrushes in my hand and then was adopted by two awesome individuals. No, I'm completely lying. I was actually born in Seattle and to a couple of very awesome parents, like I said before. And I've basically been scribbling and sketching stuff all my life. I'd say I fall more along the lines of a part-time artist, though I am trying to get into full-time. The trick with managing a schedule like mine is that you have to kind of work around whatever time you're given. So on any given work day, my boss kind of hands me a certain amount of times where I need to work, and then I have a certain amount of time where I need to do just like house chores and random other things. So with the time I have left, I basically assign it to doing as much art as I physically possibly can. To be honest, I do a lot of sketching. Like I have a couple of little mini sketchbooks just full of stuff. It's just the oil paintings I happen to be actually proud of. That is Trashbot. Hello, Trashbot. Yeah, they're actually scribbles on some of my old furniture dating back from the time where I was 2 years old. I'm not kidding. If I have to go into like the first thing I drew like coherently, I was doing some Mario fan artwork like in the late 90s, early 2000s when I was 7 years old. It was weird. I didn't actually sell Mario fan work, though around the same time I did do a portrait of somebody else, which I sold for like 10 bucks. So that wasn't bad. Well, part of it's probably just my temperament, but part of it is A, growing up around awesome parents, and B, actually being born around the time of the 90s. Like, you remember all those really good old cartoons like Animaniacs and Batman Animated and stuff? I was more or less born right around that time, and I was watching TV right from the start, so I got to catch all that really good stuff in its first run, even though I was just a wee little baby. I bet you that stuff inspired me. The main attraction is going to be the Prince of Trinita webcomic, which is a project I've been working on for a very long time. I finally put the webpage up at www.trinitacomics.com. And that will basically launch on the same day as MiniComi.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm going to launch that one at noon. There'll be a big old announcement, possibly a party. Webcomic is actually going to start on July 23rd on that very site. So, and I'm going to launch that at noon, is the plan, if nothing goes horribly wrong. Hopefully the student union has Wi-Fi. There's a lot of inspirations behind it. To be honest, it's kind of, the main idea behind it is it's kind of meant to be like sort of a proxy of myself and my sister, like undergoing like an adventure. But it's not quite me and my sister, where I've kind of swapped out parts of those characters and stuff, but the interactions are kind of like that still. And they're the main heroes of the comic. And for that I've called inspiration from a lot of stuff, most recently the Monkey Island series. But also Super Mario Brothers. There's a few little nods to that along the way. And of course, I also make fun of various other fantasy adventure stuff. Like there's a Gandalf joke right in the middle of the comic. So if you like random fisher chicks and evil robots,
We'll probably do.
legendary swords, and kidnapped princes, you'll probably like the comic.
Okay, so now, so you know what cosplay is?
I do know.
You don't? Do you
Yep.
cosplay yourself?
Not really. I do have an interesting idea to cosplay sometime, though that probably won't be MiniComi. I have the most meta cosplay in mind ever. It basically, well, there's a very funny game called Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga, and there's a scene in that where Luigi's basically cross-dressing. So what I would do is I would dress up as Luigi, dressed up as Princess Peach. So I'm a girl dressed up as a guy, dressed up as a girl.
Since MiniComi is also kind of a cosplay fest also.
To be honest, I gotta say, I'm looking more for the comic stories and stuff that people are doing than cosplay, but I gotta say there is a severe lack of the World Ends With You cosplayers. I'm sorry, I really need to see somebody dressed up as Joshua and just being like a smart aleck. And Neku. Somebody has to do Neku as well.
They need the whole team. And do you game at all?
I do a lot of gaming. I've tried to cut back on it a little bit because I'm trying to work on my art as seriously as I possibly can, but I still do game. predictably, a lot of my favorite games at any given time happen to be Mario related. And last year I also got way into the Monkey Island series since they were releasing special editions of their old games. But what else? I've been playing a lot of Xbox Live games lately, actually. So there's the Monkey Island stuff. There's also Death Spank, done by Hothead Games. And there's a kind of anime-ish puzzle strategy game called Might and Magic, A Clash of Heroes. And that's also good fun.
And where do you think you to?
Well, to be honest, mostly what I plan to do is kind of be able to hold down a job with my art, like illustrating what other people need and stuff, and simultaneously to also be able to tell my own stories and have people actually care about them. See you at the con!